recsports.virginia.edu/newwho is the website that we're looking at right now. But recsports.virginia.edu is basically our landing page for anything involving intramural recreational sports at the University of Virginia. So if you ever need to register for programs or get information about anything that we've got going on, really, recsports.virginia.edu is where you're going to want to be. So first and foremost, we want to welcome you all new who's to the University of Virginia. We have been finishing up preparing for the fall semester, coming up with all the programs that we're going to operate for you all to participate in, getting our facilities ready, especially after some renovations that we've got going on right now, which are pretty exciting, that we're going to be upgrading some of our facility spaces. But more, first and foremost, we want to welcome you all to the university. There's a nice little video here that we can play.
What is I Am Rec Sports? Well, that's the wrong question. The better question is, who is I Am Rec Sports?
Yes, we're experts in fitness, adventure, sports, and fun.
But the thing that really drives us is enriching your life.
Like helping you make lasting friendships.
Or boosting your confidence.
Experiencing new things.
Spend a little time with us and see for yourself.
So where do you get started? Just come talk to us and our staff, and we can help answer any questions or put you in touch with someone who can.
We enjoy getting to know you and helping you be the best you can be. Let's face it, talking to us is much better than reading a boring list like this.
The truth is, this university values recreation and invests in it with tremendous resources. Getting the most out of your time here begins with coming to see us.
Or better yet, come work for us. We have the best student leadership positions to help you develop professionally.
You'll have stressful times in college, and that's why we're here, to help you de-stress and practice healthy life.
Tom, I think we lost audio.
With equipment purchases and rec center remodels.
We are I Am Rec Sports, and we're here for your success. We are I Am Rec Sports,
and we're here for your success.
We are I Am Rec Sports, and we're here for your success.
All right. So I hope you enjoyed that little fun video that we have. Kind of continuing on. We have multiple facilities located across grounds, each that really have their own kind of unique aspects. What is this? Sorry. Each facility kind of offers their own unique aspects of recreation. So we have North Grounds, we have Slaughter Recreation Center, the AFC, Memorial Gym, really based on your location on grounds where you're going to be living. One of these facilities should be relatively close to you. You can dive into these a little bit further by looking at the rest of the website here. The Aquatics and Fitness Center is kind of our flagship facility. That's located probably the facility that's closest to most of the first year residence halls. It's got a pool, basketball courts, fitness spaces. A large majority of fitness classes are held there, as well as some intramural programming, some outdoor rec programming. But this facility, probably the one you might be more familiar with if you came to take tours here on grounds. The Slaughter Recreation Facility is home to our outdoor rec program. That's where our climbing facility is. The facility has racquetball courts, basketball courts, weightlifting facilities, cardio and fitness studios. But that facility is a little unique because of where our outdoor rec facility is located. Memorial Gymnasium, our oldest facility, to say the least. It was one of the first original facilities for recreation or athletics and recreation here on grounds. That's actually shared a lot with athletics because it's home to volleyball and wrestling. But this facility has some unique aspects to it as well because it has our combative room. It also has a weight room space, some fitness and cardio space, as well as basketball courts, gymnasium. Hello? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat at the same time here. This facility also has a large outdoor area around encompassing Memorial Gym. That's home to our brand new outdoor basketball courts. We have 3 courts outside with lighting, tennis courts, sand volleyball. Across the street, there's Carshill Field, which is a turf field that also has lights. So it's got a lot of outdoor spaces around it, as well as the unique spaces inside of Memorial Gym. North Grounds is home to our second pool that we have, as well as pretty much everything else the other facilities have. Weight room spaces, cardio spaces, spin studios, and it's actually just up the road from the park, which is our largest outdoor facility, where we have a super field, which is basically a large turf field with multiple fields on it, as well as softball fields, walking paths, some trails, and a few other things like that, which is great. Cool. So if you find your way to this website, recsports.virginia./newwho, you can sign up to receive some information about the programs that we offer. There's some categories here where you can select the categories that you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in intramural sports, aquatics, which we'll kind of go through those in just a second, as well as identify what class you are. And that's a really great way for us to kind of connect, so we can provide you with some information specific about what you're interested in. We offered some Zoom backgrounds that are specific to IMREC. So if you are still doing any classes or any work online, this is there's some pretty cool little virtual backgrounds here that you can choose from. When we talk about some of our programs, like the ones that are listed here, these categories, these are all departments or programs within our, within our overall IMREC sports department. But one of those being fitness. And Jackie, I don't know if, since you're in here, would you like to talk about fitness at all, or would you like me to?
Oh, I definitely want to talk about fitness.
Do it.
Is it time?
Just have at it. Do it.
Okay. Tom, would you do me a favor? Would you drop the link to this page right in the chat? Because
Yeah.
I think a little bit above where you were scrolling, they can download the IMREC app right from here. If I saw that correctly, yes, there it is. So y'all, if you look at your screen, you'll see Google Play, and you'll see the Apple Store as well. So you can download the IMREC app for free. The IMREC app, to be honest with you, is easier to read than our website. If you, depending on what your interests are, you'll simply click on an icon and it will show you the intramural sports that we have. It'll show you the facilities. You can book a swim lane reservation. You can sign up for a group fitness class that way. We also have fitness videos that are on demand that you can take at any time. And so if you just go to right there to the New Who website, you'll see, and you can just download it for free. So we recommend navigating our site through the app if at all possible, just because it is a little bit easier to read the schedules on the app itself. So Tom introduced me earlier, but my name is Jackie. So my role with intramurals and rec is that I supervise all the fitness programming, and that includes personal training, small group training, and our drop-in group fitness classes. So Amelia asked a question about if group fitness classes are free or if you have to pay. The way that UVA operates is that we call it pay to play. So that way you only pay for the services that you want to participate in. They're not included in your student fees, things like intramural registration or group fitness or personal training, because we don't want you to pay if you don't plan on using those services. So we charge only $20 a month for unlimited access to group exercise. And for the fall, we're going to have 54 classes a week. It is the absolute best deal you can find, like hands down, anywhere, because most other studios, like boutique fitness centers in town, they charge about $15 a class. So we are only asking $20 for unlimited, which means you can take class 7 days a week, as many classes as you want at a time. Another question that just came into the chat. Yes, like in general, like the running tracks, the weight equipment, the cardio equipment, the pool, all of those are included. So you can just walk into any of the fitness centers and have access to all of that at no additional charge. So for group fitness classes, like I said, we have 54 a week. All of those are going to be held at the AFC, which is the big flagship gym that Tom mentioned. It's the one closest to the first year residence halls. It's closed right now because we are undergoing a ton of construction, but it's really exciting changes. It's things like in the video that you saw, you wouldn't have seen any of the changes. So all of our studios are getting personalized touches so that the mind body studio really feels like a yoga studio. Our cycle studio is getting these like sweet lights. And so it's all LED. They have different colors and movement patterns that interact with the music. The same thing's happening in the studio that we use for Zumba and all of our dance classes. So it's really, really exciting. We're totally stoked about all of the changes. And you will be the very first class to experience it because we haven't had it before. So that's going to be awesome. One thing, Shane, would you mind just typing into the chat real quick, free week? And the dates of that are August 24th to August 31st. All 54 classes that we offer on the schedule will be absolutely free during free week. And we encourage you to take as many as you possibly can. So if you decide that you love the classes, if you want to take more, only then are you going to sign up for the class pass and pay. And like I said, it's $20 a month. You can opt in and opt out at any time. So you're not locked in to a whole semester if you decide you don't have time for it or if it's not for you. But free week, definitely we want you to check that out. Participate in, like I said, as many classes as you can, just so you get a sense of the schedule and what's going on. Other things that we have under the fitness umbrella are personal training. And so we have non-student personal trainers and student trainers as well. If you were to sign up for just one single personal training session, it would cost $40 an hour, which is also the cheapest personal training that we're aware of. If you were to buy packages, each session would be cheaper after that. Another thing that's really popular are small group trainings, and those are semi-personal. So it's not one-on-one, but you're working with smaller groups, usually no larger than like 9 or 10 other people would be in the group with you. And those are specialized. And what's a little bit different about a small group versus a drop-in class is when you're doing small group training, you get to, like, the instructor or the trainer who's leading it really gets to know you and what your strengths and weaknesses are. So that way, whatever you're learning, whether it's like boxing, or we have trainings that are very specific to just working with beginners, or if you just want to learn how to run like your first 5K, we have a couch to 5K program. We have other things for strengthening. We have a class that's specific to learning how to do a pull-up. We have classes that are specific to just learning how to do Olympic lifts in the weight room, that kind of thing. And then the instructor will get to really know you. That material is progressive, and so you learn as you go, versus a drop-in class. Every level is included. So in a drop-in class, you might have someone that it's their first time ever, or someone who's been going to group classes for 15 years. So those can't progress at the same level as a small group training because we have to be a little bit more conservative with people's ability levels and things like that. I see a couple of questions coming in the chat. So let me just scroll and make sure, because some of these may not be relative to fitness. So let me just check.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I see one question for
yeah, there's
Shane.
one that Shane will address about intramurals for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, good question. So Emily asked, are the progressive classes included in the $20 a month as well? They are not. So Emily, the $20 a month, those are on a specific group fitness schedule. And so whenever you download the app, those will probably be entered in the next 2 weeks or so. They're not quite up yet because we're just finalizing the schedule right now. But you'll be able to see what all of those are. When you go on our website, if you go to SGT or small group training, it might think it's under personal training, then you'll get to see what all of those other classes are. And there is a specific fee for those, which is separate than the $20 a month.
Awesome.
Anyone else have a fitness question?
Yeah, any more fitness questions for Jackie?
And if not, then if it comes to you, bring it up again at the end, and I might just kind of pass it on to Shane right now, and Shane can discuss intramural sports and club sports.
Yeah, Shane, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll go on, hop in. Jackie, sorry, I didn't put the dates in there because I forgot specifically when it started and stopped, and I didn't want to put the wrong thing in the chat.
I'll do it. Thank you.
So again, Tom introduced me earlier. I'm Shane Ferrara. I'm the Assistant Director of Intramural Club Sports. So everything in-house that is competitive in nature is in my purview. We actually finished the schedule yesterday, and we have a lot of fun stuff coming up this fall. We are coming back full force into all competitive sports, all in-person sports. We will also be offering some esports still, just to keep that aspect of competition in. But again, we offer league sports, which run 3 or 4 weeks of regular season plus playoffs. We have indoor soccer, we have sand volleyball, we have basketball, kickball, flag football, just a bunch of different sports, pretty much anything you could want. We also have a day or week-long tournaments that we run. So if you don't want to commit to a full league 3-week, 4-week season, you can just hop in for a 1 day or a 1 week sport. Outside of that, we are also, I'm the point of contact you need for any club sports that you'd be interested in joining. So if you think about it, intramurals is like your recreational, low level. You're going out there to have fun with your friends, get some fitness in each week. And then you have club sports, which obviously is a little bit more competitive. They have a strict training or practice schedule, as well as they compete against other clubs around the area. And then, of course, you guys know we have varsity athletics, which is not part of what we are specifically doing here. Saw a couple questions come in.
Yeah, one of the questions was, do sports run all year or just per season?
So we will run sports the entire year. That being said, it's not like certain sports will be certain times of the year. So our first round of sports, we're going to have 3-on-3 basketball, 5-on-5 indoor soccer, sand volleyball, 4-on-4 outside, and kickball. And then after that set is done, later in the semester, we'll bring in a second round of sports. So it's different seasons in each semester. And then at the end of the semester, starting in January, we start a whole nother round of sports. So you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you pick and choose what you want to do. Like Jackie said, we are pay to play. So it is an extra fee to play in intramurals, but it is very affordable. It usually rounds out to less than $15 a game for the team. So per person, it's less than $3-4 to play. So again, very affordable, very fun. You can compete for the championship shirt, or you can choose to just go out and have fun and not worry about trying to be the champion and get the shirt. So we welcome all levels of competition. And if there's something that we don't offer that you would like to see, we are always open to suggestions. We would love to try and bring different things in if it's possible on our side of things. So again, if you ever have any thoughts, just let us know.
Jared, I'm sorry we missed your question earlier, Jared. This wasn't an intramural specific question, but Jared had asked if the gyms, pools, and rock walls included in student fees. So the use of the facilities, like coming in to use the weight room or to go to North Grounds to shoot basketball on the basketball courts, if there isn't programming going on, then yes, that's your ability to walk in and use the facility is included. These programs that we're talking about those would be pay to play. Good question. Okay. Anything else, Shane?
I think that pretty much covers it, except for the shameless plug that we will always welcome anybody that ever has played a sport or has any experience officiating sports. We want you to come work for us. It's the most fun job you can have because you get to watch sports, in my opinion. Sorry, everybody else. You get to watch sports and be part of the game, even if you're not playing the game. So Emily, no, we do not have archery. Unfortunately, that is not allowed here, so we can't do that. We did previously have a club archery team, but I do believe they have disbanded a couple years back. We do have dodgeball. There is spike ball. So again, those are part of our tournaments. Those are usually day-long tournaments. So those those exist as well.
Awesome.
One thing that I wanted to mention, y'all, is that we frequently do like big special events, like if there's holidays or, anything like special going on. So sometimes like you'll see things like, for example, Tom did a bunch of they call it like dive-in movies where they pulled all the inflatables out from the pool and students just kind of hung out and watched a movie on the big giant screen that's in the pool. That's something that Tom's done a bunch of. Shane, I was trying to think of some of the other like crazier sports that you have, and y'all still do like the inflatable, or what do you call it? Like the raft water polo, right, in the pool, things like that.
Yeah, we got an inner tube water polo. We have, again, across the board, we have a bunch of really wild and crazy things. I know, Tom, you and Jackie both were just working on our Halloween event a couple of days back that we're going to have. It's going to be awesome. So plenty of fun things to do.
I was going to say, and with that Halloween event, one of the areas that I kind of failed to mention was our Poplar Ridge high and low ropes courses. They actually fall underneath of the umbrella of outdoor recreation in their programs. And that's actually the location that Jackie and I were walking around, which is obviously in the woods. It's kind of tucked away on grounds. We're looking at using that area and the trail that kind of runs through there as our haunted Halloween event this year, which so as Jackie mentioned, there are other events like that that are kind of one-off around either holidays or times of the year that we operate. We also do those as well. But since I mentioned outdoor rec, the climbing center and the outdoor rec center, in terms of their offices location, are in Slaughter. But obviously they operate a lot of programs outside of buildings as the outdoor rec program. And there's a lot of great information on their portion of the website, not only about how you can register to sign up to climb, whether there's an open climb time where you can just come and climb, or there are also programs specific to that. But they also do tons of trips throughout the year. And as you can see in the photo, whether it's kayaking or camping or hiking, I mean, there's just all kinds of fun trips that they go on all the time. A lot of those trips, depending on where they are and what they include, or I guess in terms of the location, they provide all the equipment, the transportation. So really all you have to do is kind of show up and then participate in the program. But there's a lot of good information on the website. And like Jackie mentioned, all of us as a department are just finishing up our plans and schedules for the fall. And you'll be able to see those on the app if you download that. So please make sure you do that. I guess one of the other things would be employment, since Shane already started the plug train. If you're interested in working while you're here on grounds, our department is huge. We've got all these different facilities located around grounds. Some of them buildings that have gyms and pools and things in them. Some of those are outdoor spaces. But there are tons of opportunities to work within our department, and we're probably one of the largest, if not the largest, employer of students on grounds. You can work in facilities, you can work in fitness instruction with Jackie, intramural sports with Shane, any type of instruction, which is what my programs offer. So I oversee the instruction portion of a lot of these sports. So tennis lessons, swim lessons, basketball, soccer, volleyball lessons, things of that nature, where you're either working one-on-one or in a small group to work on whatever sport and skills that you'd like to work on. We have the folks for that. Outdoor adventure, working either in the climbing center or being able to be a trip leader, as well as our marketing department. There's a lot of different opportunities that pop up throughout the year, but kind of more specifically that start in the fall. We'll obviously be looking to hire a lot of folks to gear up for the fall semester to make sure we have staff for all of our programs and facilities. And you can fill out an application that's pretty easy to do, and you can actually select which areas, whether it's programs or facilities that you are interested in, and then that application will get sent out to each of those individual areas and their supervisors. So if you're interested in working at all, we highly recommend it. Hands down, it's probably gonna be one of the best places to work on grounds. I guess Shane's might be the best asbestos, but but anyway, We've got tons of positions. So, if you have experience being a lifeguard, you could head towards aquatics. If there's something you're interested in, again, fill out an application. You don't necessarily have to have experience, although it's obviously preferred, but we're more than happy to bring anyone on board that's excited and willing to work. So cool.
Hey, Shane, I just wanted to ask you, because I know that Shane just put some information in the chat about the various club sports. There should be, I don't know if they've selected the date already, Shane, but there is a student activities fair that happens very close to the beginning of the semester, where you can also wander literally from table to table with every club on grounds, and they'll have representatives from clubs and sports and everything that can answer questions directly.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know that date or time or location. Usually it is on the lawn or in the amphitheater. But again, unfortunately, I don't know those dates at this moment. But again, never hesitate to reach out to us, any of us, if you have any questions about anything. Our overall email is recsports@virginia.edu as well. So if you email that one, you can ask any question, and our customer service representatives will send it through to the person that needs to hear it, so that whichever one of us gets the question can answer it and give you the response you need. So Masil, saw your email or saw your message about where to sign up. That is on the website. So if you go to the top of it in the competitive tab, it's this little drop down, it says register for IM Sports, and it'll bring you to the right web page for that, so that you can register there. And we actually have our second website is go.recsports.virginia.edu, and that's actually where all of our registrations take place for everything. So that would be the place you need to go to really see what's going on.
And that's this is the club sports website that I just pulled up, or like Shane just mentioned, these three buttons up here kind of initiate your direction into what you're interested in finding. We have information about memberships, fitness, any kind of skills development. Competitive will show you the two intramurals and club sports. In looking through those pages individually, kind of help you gauge, what the difference is. Like Shane mentioned, the time commitment and the competitiveness, and then adventure, outdoor recreation, as well as a challenge course that we talked about. If you go to go.recsports.edu, this is actually the portion of the website where Shane just mentioned that you would be able to click on something and then kind of move forward. Intramural sports, for example, register, scheduling, rankings, all that kind of stuff. And then you can kind of go follow the progression through that. You would use your NetBadge login, so your computing ID, and that's how you would be able to obviously gain access to being able to register and pay for something online. But all the information is available just for you to be able to visit the website whenever and be able to look through it. Those are good questions.
Sorry, you would have heard me typing probably. I thought I was on mute. There's a couple of events also, y'all, that are going to be taking place at the AFC right before classes begin. And those are called RecFest and Who's Home. And so we're in the process of planning for those too, but they're going to be really, really fun. So you want to make sure that you plan to come to those. RecFest is on Friday, August 20th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And there's going to be food and games and inflatables and then something similar called Who's Home on the 21st, which goes either 1 or 2 a.m. I don't remember which one, but it goes late. And again, there's going to be food and games and giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. And all of us will be present at both events. So if any questions or if you're looking for additional information, we'll be there. So that way you get a chance to see where all this fun stuff is located.
Yeah, the application is probably the easiest way to navigate to find out information. So again, that's really important if you can download that application. And you've got any type of interest, it's just a few clicks away of finding out when things are available, program descriptions, how to register, all those type of things. And even on I'm not sure if it's on the application necessarily yet, but definitely on the website. There's actually a portion of the website that will show you how busy a facility is and at what time. That kind of is pretty nice because it allows you to see, you know, I guess really just what the capacities are at the time of when you'd like to go work out. You know, if you want to go use a weight room at a facility, you're going at 5 and 6 o'clock, maybe the busiest time. It can kind of help you navigate around those. Where do the 2 events take place? Also, is there a calendar that lists events such as these? Well, thanks, Jackie. Yeah, so this facility here, which is actually the facility specific page that I'm on at the Aquatic and Fitness Center, that's where those events will take place. It's our largest facility, but also has kind of a unique location because it's located right next to Scott Stadium, the football stadium. So there's a lot of activity that goes on between obviously the football stadium and some things that events and programs, our facility, as well as we're very close to the first year, a lot of the first year dorms, not all of them, but so that location's really prime in terms of being able to, you know, get from one to the other and come to those events. Yeah, a lot of the programs or events that you're going to see happen during that first week or so that you're here, especially that weekend after move-in, would be located on the orientation calendar. So not only the programs that we run, but obviously the programs that the university as a whole are putting on for you all for your arrival. So. How many outdoor basketball courts are there? I've heard rumors of a yoga studio being built on some courts. Jackie, what do we know about these rumors?
As far as I know, we're not removing any courts for a yoga studio. You've probably heard about the CSC, which is the Contemplative Sciences Center. They are in the process of building a center just for their classes. But right now what they do is the CSC actually uses various locations on grounds for classes like meditation. They also offer free yoga classes because they actually have a budget assigned to cover those. Whereas our classes, like I said, you have to pay for those because we don't get money from y'all for student activity fee from that. So what the CSC does is we will host 4 of their free classes. So you'll see their classes included on our group fitness schedule. So those you don't have to pay for, but it's very clearly indicated that those are free. And they also do a couple of classes at other locations on grounds. They do classes outside sometimes when it's really nice, like in the amphitheater. And they do classes sometimes, I think, in like one of the bookable spaces at the library as well. But I don't think our department would allow them to take any of our courts away in order to build a studio. So I think they're trying to put their building close to some courts, but it won't remove the courts.
So Jackie, is actually, I think it's not necessarily a rumor that's true, but it's not true. We moved our old basketball courts from the Dell to behind Mem Gym. So we have the 3 courts behind Mem Gym, and on the old basketball courts, they are building the new Contemplative Sciences Center. So in theory, yes, that is where there will be some yoga stuff happening in that building, but nothing's been removed fully. It's just been moved around a little bit. So
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, we've got those 3 new basketball courts literally just got finished being built a couple weeks ago, and they are fantastic. They get a lot of use, but as well as indoor, we've got between all of our facilities, there's probably, I think it's 10 basketball courts. Some of those are open at certain periods of time for open gym basketball. You can just come in and shoot. Sometimes some of those courts are being programmed by intramurals or maybe even fitness or instruction. So really, getting on that app and taking a look to see when things are offered and finding the place you'd like to be. Tennis. I talked a little bit about tennis, more so about instruction, but so in regards to tennis, we have the Snyder Tennis Facility, which is located right outside of Memorial Gym, which is actually where my office is located. We offer tennis in a league format or a ladder format. That's actually with Shane, with intramurals and close sports. I program and offer lessons. So whether they be private lessons, one-on-one with the tennis instructor, or group, being 6 to 8, depending on the semester and what we've got going on. But most of the instructional programs that I run, tennis lessons, swim lessons, basketball lessons, soccer lessons, volleyball lessons. They were offered in kind of multiple formats, being beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Those are kind of the 3 levels that we offer as a program. So if you've never played tennis before, for example, you could take beginner tennis. You'd be in a group with other folks about the same skill level, and our instructor over 6 lessons or 6 weeks, you would attend those lessons once a week. Would obviously instruct you on basic principles of tennis and racket holding and positioning and different hits and all those kind of stuff. And that's the same for basketball, soccer, volleyball, those programs that we offer. If it's a sport that you're interested in and you've never played, it's a great way to be introduced to it with a small group of folks that are at the same skill level. But if you're someone who, I played high school basketball, for example, and I just really want to be with either a small group of folks that want to work on their skills or work with with an instructor, those classes last about 50 minutes to an hour. And they're more so weighted in the skills and mobility training of the sport itself. Working on shooting, dribbling for basketball, for example. And pretty much doing drills, some small-sided scrimmaging, things of that nature. So we offer that for all those different sports with those beginner, intermediate, advanced levels. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions about anything involving recreation? Maybe something you're interested in, something you want to know more about? We're more than happy to talk about that with you. Are there any golf courses around grounds where students can play or get some sort of discount? Yes. So Boar's Head is probably the closest course, right, Shane? That is a UVA situation, meaning that it is home to our athletic tennis team, as well as it is home to the UVA golf team. That's probably the closest course that you could play at. There are tons of courses in general, meaning around in the Charlottesville area, ranging from $20 a round, $25 a round, all the way up to way more than I'd like to pay to play golf. So, but yes, there are golf courses around. Boar's Head, which is the location right up the road where the athletic teams are held. I'm pretty sure there are discounts for UVA students there. Aside from that, you just have to see if your student ID would give you a discount. But we actually currently don't offer any golf instructional programs. I'm really hopeful that actually falls under my umbrella. I'm really hopeful that in the spring, we would be able to start to offer that as a lesson package, beginner, intermediate, advanced, as well as maybe even some small tournaments in conjunction with the Boar's Head golf course. So hopefully that will be coming soon in the spring. Really, we were kind of gearing up for that, and then COVID happened, and a lot of things shut down, and et cetera, et cetera. So we're just trying to get the wheels spinning back on that again. But that's something that would be added under my umbrella, hopefully, like I mentioned in the spring semester, we would start to offer some instruction. But yeah, good question. Any other questions people have about stuff? Yeah, so Shane actually talked about that a little bit about the archery club at UVA. And I think, so, Shane, I didn't want to take your bubble. Yeah. I used to work in intramural clubs. It's like natural to be like.
Yeah, the archery club is no more. They were one that existed before I was here. And they were here for a while. They were grandfathered in because the university changed policies and were no longer allowed to do stuff in that realm. But then it seems, again, this was before my time, but they just sort of fizzled out and no longer do exist here. So unfortunately, Jade, I don't think that they are here anymore. Yep. John, there are not tryouts for intramurals. That's just a situation where you find some friends and play. We do have a free agency as well that we can try and work with to get you into a team. We do our best to match you with a team. But as far as club, there are tryouts. Those usually happen the first 2 weeks of classes, and we are going to, if you ever need anything about that, as far as information for the tryout schedule, just reach out to me. They post it, or I can put you in contact with the captain or the president of the club so that you can reach out to them and see when their tryouts would be so that you could try out and play.
Great questions. Does anybody else have any sports or recreation activities that they're interested in? Yeah, and if there's a club sport, I'm sure Shane, if there's a club sport that we currently don't offer, there's a good chance it may have just been dormant, meaning that there's some students that came along a long time ago that fired up the club and got it going, and then maybe the interest fell off. But either bringing one of those kind of back to life with the interest there, or starting a new club is all Shane's world. So he can email him or contact him for any of those questions you may have about those, especially as the semester starts to gear up as we get a little closer. Are there free classes, Jackie?
Hey, thanks for asking, Justin. Yes, we have a free week, which is going to go from August 24th to August 31st. So what that is relative to all of the drop-in group fitness classes. So right now we have 54 classes scheduled a week, and you can drop in, you can take as many as you want. I don't think I really mentioned to you all before what types of classes we have. So we have pretty much everything that you can think of. So we have multiple varieties of yoga. We have Pilates, we have bar, we have boxing, we have resistance training, core training. We have fusion classes like cycle yoga. We have TRX, we have kettlebells, we have stretch, we have specific upper body class, lower body class, core Bosu fusion. So it's like pretty much every class that you can think of, we offer. And at Zumba, we have like a studio dance class. So any dancers out there, if you're missing like not necessarily a fitness dance class, but like a studio dance class, our instructor is formally trained and she runs it just like you would have done in the studio, where there's isolations, stretching, ab work, and then a brand new combo that she teaches every week. So the schedule is in the process of being finalized, so you won't be able to see it yet, but in about 2 weeks, you'll be able to go right on our website or on the IMREC app and take a look. So I think we've had a couple of people join since we started. So Tom, do you mind putting the New Who's site back into the chat? So what we're gonna do, y'all, is put a link to the New Who's, which is specific to our website, just information for new students like y'all, first years and transfer students. And there's gonna be some information about the IMREC app. It is free to you, but we've mentioned a couple times, it's the very best way to navigate our programs and services. And you'll be able to see the schedule on there.
Yeah, so I just added that web address. Oh, sorry, I think I actually directly messaged Jackie with that. So, whoopsie. There you go. recsports.virginia.edu is all you really need to remember. /newwho is specifically for you all being new to the university and on grounds and our programs and our facilities. But recsports.virginia.edu has tons of information about club sports, intramurals, fitness, instructional rec, outdoor recreation, aquatics, and all the programs that they operate, as well as just the facilities in general with videos and images, and you can find hours of the facilities on there. But on that website, for anyone who joined late, the application, the app that you can download on the Google Play or the App Store is actually your best bet at being able to quickly and easily navigate all this information. So I highly recommend downloading that application. You can do a lot of things from it, but you use your computing ID to be able to log in and register and pay for anything that needs that aspect of it to be able to participate in. Does anybody have any questions about any specific sports programs, anything recreation? Something you're interested in, something you wonder if we have it?
And if not, you can go on and be free whenever you choose to be, but we will stick around until the last question is asked.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question that Alex just had. I tried to log in to the app. The app says there was a failure putting in my net badge ID. I don't know this answer for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's because your information hasn't been uploaded yet. So what will happen as we get a little bit closer to the school year, we will do a giant data dump with all of your information for all the first years, and we'll pull that into Fusion, which is the software that we use to operate everything. So if you can't right now, it's okay. You're just not there yet. And other than going to the website to find out information, which you can do whatever you want, those programs for the fall semester won't be available for about 2 weeks. And then we'll basically flip the light switch, and everything that's available for the fall semester, integral programs, fitness programs, outdoor rec trips, everything will be kicked on, and you'll be able to log in and register. So odds are that your information from becoming a student, that side of IT hasn't been brought over yet into our system. So don't worry, downloading the app's a great start, because at least you have it and you're ready to go. But that's actually probably why, Alex, that it's not working for you at the moment. Yeah, you should be able to navigate around on the application, but you won't be able to log in to do anything if your net badge isn't working quite yet. And for some of you, it may. I mean, I'm not really sure on the IT side of UVA how that works. That's a different world. I'm a recreation major. I just do things, have fun, and program. Although I am starting a podcast, which is pretty interestingly enough, but who knew? Who knew that would happen? But yes, so you might be able to open up the application and look at things, just kind of like navigating the website. But when you take that extra step to be able to log in to register yourself for a program and pay, that probably won't happen until your net badge information, your computing ID gets transported over. So, all right, there's only a few of you left. Does anybody have any questions? Be happy to answer them for you. We will stay here until the last question is answered. That's what we will do. It's our duty. Maya, Matt, Justin, Ian, Jade, and an iPhone. Oh, you're welcome, Justin.
Thank
Welcome
you. Have a
to
good
Hooping.
day.
Bye.
Bye. See y'all soon.
Bye, Ian.